with the flow.
Can't forget about Coach Bergen. Of course. And if you don't got Coach Bergen, you ain't got shit.
What's up, Coach Bergen here, and welcome to the Coach Bergen Show, episode 46. Today's guest, we have Maddox Martin, and he is an MMA fighter with an upcoming fight that we're going to get into. I don't remember what promotion, but we'll find out when we get there. Oh, you got it. Perfect.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Sorry, I'm trying to park real quick for us.
No worries. Take your time. You can do that.
Yep. So how you doing today?
I'm alive, and every day above ground is a good day.
All right.
So, how about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I feel good. I'm ready.
Good. So you have a fight coming up, right?
Yep, March 7th with
March
305. There were 305 fights down in Miami.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
305 fights. So, who are you fighting against?
His name's Roger Lopez.
Roger Lopez. All right,
Yep.
cool. So do you have anything in mind for it already? Any game plans? Any?
Yeah, I got a pretty solid game plan for it going in.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like as long as I go in aggressive, using my footwork, and he likes to plant his feet a lot and throw his punches. So as long as I use my footwork, move around him, it should be a dance for me.
All right, awesome. How did you get started with fighting?
How did I get started?
Yeah, how did you get started with fighting?
So around like age 6 or 7, my grandpa's actually a 4th-degree black belt in Taekwondo. So
Oh, wow.
he actually showed me a lot of stuff growing up, and that's kind of what like sparked my interest in martial arts. And then I got to 7th grade in middle school, and I started wrestling. Wrestled all the way through middle school, high school, all that good stuff. And then I started jiu-jitsu and went into kickboxing and mixed it all together. So
Awesome. Is there any style that you prefer over the other ones?
I'm ground game. I'm big on my ground game. I wouldn't say that I prefer it more. It's just what I'm more comfortable with, I guess. So
All right, cool. So how many fights have you had so far?
this is the first one.
First one.
in
Okay,
MMA.
so this is your amateur debut?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So how long have you been training for?
Years.
Years.
Good amount of years. Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so if you could have a dream fight, who would it be against?
Oh, a dream fight. I'd say Conor McGregor.
All
Get
right.
that money. You know
Get
what
that
I'm saying?
money, yeah. You got to get those big paydays,
Right.
I mean, millions of dollars to get beaten up for 25 minutes or less. I mean, that's worth it to me. I don't know.
100%. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, I would still try, of course, in the fight, but like it wouldn't go very far. He would knock me the fuck out very quickly. I'm certain of it. But I would definitely take that big payday. That's a good idea. So what if it wasn't for a payday? Do you have anyone that you would want to fight?
If it wasn't for a payday, just kind of off respect, I'd probably
I
say
guess.
GSP, George St. Pierre.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of his. Or the Diaz brothers. One of the Diaz brothers get in there and duke it out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'd say,
I like the Diaz brothers for sure.
yeah.
And I think back to how Nate got screwed out of the BMF title,
Mm-hmm.
because of the doctor's stoppage, and then they just they gave it to Masvidal. But
Right.
I think that I don't think Nate's fighting again for at least a while, maybe boxing. But if he were to come back, I would like to see him fight for the BMF title, so that way he holds a belt before he retires. But
Right. And nobody's better for that title than
right,
Nate Diaz. You know what I'm
it
saying?
was literally created for him, and then it stopped in the most ironic way it could have, where a doctor's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's not safe. Let's stop," and it's like, yeah, it would have been good if they were able to finish it out, but not my choice, not my decision, and they got guidelines and shit to follow. But all right, So, if you couldn't be a fighter, what would you be doing in your life?
If I wasn't fighting, honestly, I probably I own a business that I do to support my fighting. So I feel like I'd probably just be focusing more on my business, trying to make the money. We all got to make a
Yeah,
men's needs and whatnot. So
of course. So, what's the business? We can give it a shout out if you want.
it's Martin's Junk Removal and Property Services. But
Okay.
I do everything from junk removal, moving houses, lawn care, pressure washing, all that good stuff.
Okay. So you just like completely take care of the house, the maintenance in general
All right.
is what you're able to do. Okay. I used to do junk removal. I don't know if you would know of the company, but it's called 1-800 Got Junk. They're like
I
bigger
actually
up
think I have
here.
heard of that.
Okay, okay. I don't know if they're nationwide or not. I'm not really sure. But I worked at one of those, and I mean, I don't know. There were some days where it was super easy money, and then some days where it was like, oh my God, I fucking hate this. Why am I
Right.
why am I
Yeah.
here? You know? And
100%.
so yeah, that's definitely not an easy job that you're doing, and having to deal with all the people, and then, I remember sometimes like trying to explain to people about the pricing, but they didn't really speak English, so it was just like very difficult to try to figure it out, and yeah, but I'm sure you got lots of stories like that, and
Right. Yeah.
yeah, what got you started with doing that?
Uh, really? Uh, I'm not even sure. That's a good question. What got me started? I'd say really, just trying to keep a little cash in my pocket and stay busy. I like to stay busy. I don't like to sit around and be bored. Drives me
Mm,
insane. So I'd say that's the reason.
okay, gives you something to do.
100%.
All right, cool. If you could eat only one meal a day for the rest of your life, you can eat it as many times during the day as you want, but you can only have this one meal. What would that meal be?
Mm. I'd probably say steak and like mac and cheese or something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Steak with
Steak and mac.
steak with a side of mac and cheese.
Right.
All
That
right.
sounds good.
So I'm thinking that like you could probably have the sides be something variable where it's like sometimes it's mac and cheese, sometimes you could do broccoli if you wanted, sometimes you could do, I don't know, rice. You could, like, I don't know what would go good with it, but like there, I don't think you have to limit yourself on that one. I think steak is probably the meal, and then the sides can be variable with it.
Okay.
I'm
Then yeah, steak all day.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still, it's really a hypothetical question, so I haven't really, been, I guess, exact on what it means to, have the one meal a day. Um, because initially it was just one meal a day and not, as many times as you want or as much as you want. But I've kind
Right.
of varied the question as we go. Um, but yeah, so, all right, next one. If you could give one piece of advice to anyone starting out, what would it be?
Mm. I would say don't stop. You know what I'm saying? You gotta persevere through all the bull crap. Keep going. That's the biggest advice. There's a lot of times you want to quit, but you can't quit. You gotta keep going.
All right. Is there any piece of advice that someone has given you in your career that has really like stuck with you?
Mm. Really stuck with me. Um, I would say if anything, it was just kind of like more of what my grandpa instilled in me, like be humble. You know, and that's the thing. Be humble. Don't be out there.
Mm,
Do what you got to do and let that be it.
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. All right. So, if you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
Mm. It's a good question. I'd say a great white shark.
Great white
And the reason
shark.
I say a great white shark is because they're a solitary animal. They're a dangerous animal, powerful animal, but they just like swimming alone.
Mm. but they're limited to water, right? So you
Right.
wouldn't be able to be on land. So I don't know how you would step into the cage as a great white shark. I don't think that would
Oh,
work.
it'd be hard.
Yeah, you would need
Yep.
an underwater cage.
Yeah, and then I'd be something. I'd be dangerous for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to create a cartoon version of that with an underwater cage and two great white sharks fighting. And
That'd be perfect.
I'm going to put it in right here, and then I'll create more of it at the end. And yeah, I think that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
That's what's up.
Um, so outside of the podcast, I do, cartoon creation for the most part. So I have a cartoon I started called Jiu-Jitsu Monkey and Friends, and then that's like spun off into its own different things where I just finished creating this whole movie. I'll tell you a story real quick. So about 10 years ago, I was in a coma. I was in a coma, and the doctors had told my parents that best case scenario, I was going to be in a vegetative state the rest of my life. I had all these dreams while I was in it. I thought they were true when I woke up. And then when I did wake up, they brought me to a rehab center to teach me to walk again. And on
Mm,
that first night there, the doctor said it was going to be a few months, probably a year before I made it back home. And I told him I would be home next week. He started laughing at me. He's like, I have no clue where you're getting that idea from. It's going to be at least a few months, and then we'll talk from there. And I said, well, no offense, doctor, but you don't know me. I am going to be home next week. And then a week to that day, I made it back home. So
okay.
when I made it home, I wrote down everything about the experience, start to finish, put it into a Google Doc, and then I turned it into a movie script, got it properly formatted, copyrighted, etc. Um, but then earlier in 26 now, it's still a new year. Um,
Right.
so in 2025, I had decided, all right, I'm gonna figure out how to create this film, and originally it was gonna be with people, but then I realized that it would be a lot easier to do it with cartoons, and so I rewrote the entire script a bunch of times to be able to be told through the perspective of my cartoon characters. And so I've I'm like 99% done with it now, and I'm going to be getting it onto Prime Video. And it's called Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
thank you.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
100%.
you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, do you have any big life goals for yourself that you want to do?
100%. Yeah, I have. I'm very goal orientated. I have lots of goals. My biggest goal has always been, make it to the UFC or something like that. Become a world champion in mixed martial arts. Um, Another dream is, grow my business. I'd like to have my business worldwide. Not just here in my small town, but yeah, I have lots of dreams. 100%.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, Yeah, because like one of the big things I want to be able to do in my life is inspire hope. And like especially with that film, I want it to be able to inspire people to see that like the opinions of the quote unquote experts don't have to be our realities because we can make our realities and we have control over our thoughts and our minds and the mind's very powerful. So
Right.
yeah. But all right. Do you have any stories with training that you want to share about?
Uh, sure. Yeah, actually, shout out to the Swamp BJJ in Gainesville, Florida. I've been training there here recently, getting ready for this fight. Very good gym, good people. Yeah, I went there and I was talking to the owner Ken, um, and he's a nice guy. Set me up, gave me a good deal with the prices too. So 100% good people, and yeah, getting ready for this fight. They have jujitsu classes, kickboxing classes, Muay Thai classes, have it all. So definitely good stuff and a good gym to work at. So
And what is it called?
the Swamp BJJ.
The Swamp BJJ, and you said Gainesville, Florida?
Yep, yep.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Shout out to them. Um, all right. So, what is the promotion that you're fighting for again?
305 fights.
305 fights, and where are they out of? They're out of Florida, right? But
They're out of
where?
Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Okay.
Hmm.
So is that like a distance for you, or is that close by?
6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. So that's gonna be like a little bit of a far travel.
Yep. A little
Like
bit.
it could definitely be worse. I know somebody that's fighting, I think tonight or tomorrow, and he's driving 17 hours to get there. And I don't understand why
I'd
when it's
rather
an amateur
fly.
fight, but like whatever, people are going to do what they're going to do, and I
Right.
understand it's dedication, but at the same time, there's like cost analysis too. um, but 6 hours, that's quite a distance. How are you feeling about that?
I feel pretty good. I had to go back in January for a photo shoot, and we went down there. The drive wasn't too bad. It's all interstate, so it's not back road. It's pretty quick, so it ain't too bad. It's nice down there. Up in North Florida, it's kind of cold, but down there it was nice and warm, so it's feeling good.
Okay.
So
What is cold for you down in Florida?
cold in Florida for us, you're probably gonna laugh. Probably like 50s or 40s is when
40s,
I start
50s?
considering
Okay.
it cold.
No, I mean, I get it. My parents actually live down in Florida, and they were complaining to me the other day about it being cold, and it was 30. And I was like, listen, we have snow out here. All right. What? Um, and yeah, so I get it because your body will get used to that temperature, and then it's life.
Yeah, right.
But you can't win them all, and you can, just gotta, I guess, choose what comforts you want and which ones you don't, and as soon as you get used to being comfortable with something, then that comfort now needs to elevate, and so I don't know. I feel like if I were to move down to Florida, which I do want to do eventually, but I feel like if I were to move down there, I would then eventually want to be warmer. And then now I'm down in Mexico. And then I want to be warmer. And then now I'm down in Africa. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's only so far down south you can go.
Yeah, now sometimes
Uh,
I'll get upset and get a little mad because I'm like, we live in Florida for a reason. It's 30
right.
degrees outside.
Yeah. That's crazy that it can hit 30 degrees, but you don't get snow, right?
We get like a few little flurries every 20 years or so.
Okay. All right. All right. But it never is something that you need to shovel.
No, we don't
Okay.
have to
So
deal with no
so there you
shovels.
go. So there you go. That's already a lot better.
Right.
You know, and I imagine like places like California in the West, I don't think they have snow either. Um, but of course, California is a big state, so maybe like in the north they might. Um, I'm not really sure, but I
Yeah.
know that like New England probably has it the worst, and
Mm.
as far as snow, and I've heard that in Alaska they don't even have snow right now, but we do.
Wow.
So I'm not sure. It's yeah, fuck all that snow though.
100%.
Have you like this is probably a stupid question, but have you seen snow aside from the
Yeah.
flakes?
Yeah, I've seen snow. Actually, I seen it in Oklahoma is when I seen it.
Oklahoma. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it like a lot? Was it like a few feet of snow? Was it a
It was a
couple
few inches.
inches?
It wasn't,
A few
yeah,
inches?
just a few inches. It wasn't nothing crazy.
Okay. Gotcha. So you haven't had to drive in it then?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a whole different thing. And like where I am, there's like all these like twists and turns and fucking sharp corners and going up a hill too. And then, when you're leaving, you're going down a hill. So it's like in the winter, it really slows things down and just frustrates the fuck out of me, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because it's like I just want to go and do shit, or I just want to go to work, or I want to go see somebody, but then it's like, oh fuck, I can't leave the house. And
Yep. Snowed in.
yeah,
Yep,
but
that would upset me too.
yeah, yeah, but one day I'll get out of it, and I'll get to a place where I don't have to be snowed in, and I don't have to deal with the cold weather, and then I can bitch about it being 40 degrees.
Hey, yep. Hey, and then that's life right there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Um, how are you liking living in Florida aside from, well, I guess I don't know. No snow. No snow. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, so I've actually lived in Florida my whole life. I grew up in Florida, so Yeah, it's great. I like Florida. Other than when it gets 30 degrees, that's when it
Mm,
sucks. But
okay.
other, it's warm weather. We got a lot of springs where I'm from, up in the North Florida. So we like to get in them springs and go to the beach.
Oh, I lost you. I lost you. And you're
Did you
back.
get me? All
Now
right,
you're
perfect.
back.
I
Yeah.
had a call coming through.
Oh, okay. Got you. So what were you
Yep,
saying?
yep. I was saying, here in North Florida, we have a lot of springs. So, we constantly stay trying to go swim in the springs or go to the beach or something. So I love it.
Hmm. Sounds like, a pretty good place to be, honestly. And then I know Florida had like a lot more freedom than most states did during like the COVID shutdown. And
Mm,
I assume that you guys probably have more freedom than us still in a lot of ways. Not that we're like not free, but uh, like there's like it's less restrictive in Florida from what I understand, right?
right. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do people still wear masks?
Yes. Oh my God. What the fuck? Yeah. I saw somebody the other night wearing a mask still. And it's like you're inside and I don't understand why the fuck you're wearing a mask. It doesn't make any sense to me. And but then after talking to her for about 5 minutes, she was nonstop about how bad of a person Donald Trump is, and I realized, okay, the woke mind virus got her.
Yep. Yep.
So
Right.
yeah. Yeah. But
100%.
yeah, but what about down in Florida? You guys probably are not
The
doing it, right?
mask actually slowed down for a little bit. There was some masks, but yeah, I haven't seen a mask in a good while, so I'm actually pretty happy about it.
Yeah, yeah. That means that, people are waking up to things being okay and not afraid as much of like breathing air.
Right.
And we shouldn't be afraid to breathe air. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Shouldn't
And
walk in fear.
and then they're starting to show now that the whole thing was basically like over exaggerated, overplayed, and manipulated to make us in fear and make us buy the vaccine. And I don't know. We'll see where everything settles when all the information comes out. But
Yeah.
it seems like it had something to do with Epstein as well, creating COVID. So
Wouldn't surprise
um,
me.
it wouldn't
He's
surprise me
fraud.
either, but at the same time, it's like that's very coincidental, and it seems like maybe they're just trying to blame him so that because he's already a scapegoat and already seen as this like evil person, so now they can just like throw one more thing on there. Oh, he also did this. Oh, he also fucked up our economy. Oh, he also poisoned our water. Like whatever bad things they want to blame, they really could.
Mm.
And nobody would be able to dispute it just because of the fact that like he's supposedly dead. And then the news is obviously going to cover you know what
Do you
the
think he's dead?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that it would be very odd that in a highly secure police fucking a prison system, a highly secured prison system, there happens to be a camera that doesn't work, and he happens to be a minute of footage missing, and then he happens to take his life in that exact minute.
Mm.
I don't know. That's just it seems way too coincidental,
Very sketchy.
sketchy. What do you think though?
I think he's alive. Actually,
Mm,
I keep seeing photos, which everything can be AI nowadays, but I
right.
keep seeing photos of like pictures of like they're like, "Do you think this is him? Do you think this is him?" And every photo I'm seeing looks like him, so I almost believe that he's alive.
Yeah. I
Which
think
when you have that much money and stuff and that much power, you almost can do anything you want and fake a death pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? So
mm, right, right. And whether or not he's dead is one thing, but like another thing that is involved with that whole situation is his roommate in the prison cell was supposedly like a serial murderer and had gotten paid to kill him.
mm,
But I don't know that, Epstein was strangled to death or not. But what I do know is I remember seeing. Do you know who Steven Crowder is?
I don't believe so.
Louder with Crowder is his show. But and he had this thing called Change My Mind, was his segment that he would go to different places and have people try to prove him wrong and whatever. Um, but anyway, he had, after the Epstein, stuff had come out initially, like back in 2020, what he had done on his show was he tried to literally strangle himself to death using the stuff that Epstein would have had in his prison cell, which would have been like a blanket and would have been, the bedpost and whatever that he tied it to. And he tried to like get enough pressure on his neck to where he would be able to strangulate himself, and he couldn't physically do it on his own without somebody else like forcing
Right.
forcing him to choke more. And it was like a long episode. It was like a couple hours long where he was doing this thing and trying to, all these different ways of trying to kill himself to show that Epstein couldn't have possibly done it. And
Wow.
so yeah, but I don't know. He could be alive. He could be dead, but he definitely has a lot of power and a lot of influence still. And I don't know. I hope the world wakes up and can, I don't know if we need to revolt. I don't know if we need to revamp the whole system. I'm not really sure what needs to change, but something definitely needs to get better. And then, like, have you heard about all this waste and stuff that's going on, like Minnesota, with those daycares?
Yep. I did
Yeah,
hear.
yeah. And so, and then apparently in California, there's like similar stuff going on too. And it's like everywhere. There's just millions and millions of dollars of fraud just happening. And, why do we even pay taxes?
Fund the bad things.
To fund the bad things. Exactly. Just to fund the bad things and the bad people who don't break, who break the rules. And then, we got to make sure that we fund the people who come in here illegally, of course, give them 5-star hotels to stay in.
Right.
And, give them 5-course meals as well. And we need to make sure that their kids have college funds. We need them to have social security numbers. So we're going to give them somebody else's. And, yeah, it's a broken system, but, we don't have to dwell on that. There's going to be good stuff happening in this world, and this is going to be the year where a lot of stuff is going to suck for quite a while, but then when it bounces back, that's going to be the time where people are going to be able to go from like average to rich, and supposedly 2026 is supposed to be one of the greatest years for people to be able to like jump financial classes, like to go from poor to rich, or average to rich, or rich to poor, because of all the changes and stuff that's happening with the economy. And like Bitcoin dropped down like 50% in the last 2-3 months, and that's never happened since it started.
Right.
And a lot of stuff's down right now, which is good, because then when you can buy it, then it's going to go back up. But yeah, do you invest at all?
I do not in any stocks.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
definitely should though. Definitely should.
I mean, I think it's not a bad idea, because the way that it makes sense to me is like, if you're working for your money, then that's one person working. But if you have money that can also work for you, you now have a second person working for you, essentially. And that you don't have to really pay, because you already own it, you already have it. And so yeah, it just makes it easier, I think, to be able to get ahead if you can.
You have some stocks invested?
Yeah, I have some stocks, but I'm mostly playing with cryptocurrency right now, because with the stock market, what's tough about it is it's like only Monday through Friday, and it's only during like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's not like, but cryptocurrency, you can trade it any time of day and any day of the week. And then there's a lot of ones where you could definitely lose money on, but there's a lot of ones that like will pay you just for holding them. And so like, like you'll get almost like a dividend, like an APY. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a percentage of what you've invested. You'll get paid that every, some do it every month, some do it every week, some do it every 5 days, and then you can like either reinvest it or you can just take it. And but either way, buying stuff that'll pay you out, I think, is where it's going to become a lot easier to become wealthy, as opposed to just trying to work for it, because there's only so many hours in a day, and there's only so much time that you can put into each project as well.
Right.
So, you know, um, so that's what I'm looking to do more of, is more investments. And yeah, but Bitcoin is going to be the one to buy into in like probably like a month, when it drops down more. I've heard it's going down all the way to 27,000, and it was at 127,000 like 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
Okay.
So like if it does drop down that low, I am putting everything I have into it, because it's gonna go back up. And what I like about with investing into Bitcoin is you can borrow against it as well. So like if I put all my money into Bitcoin and then I hold it, I can take a loan against the Bitcoin to pay my bills that, need dollars as opposed to crypto, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you.
So, and then when you pay back the loan, you don't pay any interest. Well, you pay interest on it, but you don't have to pay any taxes on that money, because of the fact that it's paying back a loan. It's paying off debt. So when you're paying off debt, apparently it's interest free, or not. It's tax free. I've said interest free, but tax free. I don't know enough about it really to like be, spieling out tax code, because I'm not an accountant. I'm a podcast host who was a personal trainer, and now I create videos at most. I'm not really an education. I'm not educated in the financial code well enough, I guess, to give tax advice, but it's definitely something worth looking into, and it's definitely something that I've heard from different videos, that it's how the rich stay rich, is because they'll borrow against their assets, and so they don't technically make anything, but they have plenty of money to use, and then when they do get money in, they just pay back the loan, or they'll take a bigger loan to pay off that original loan, and then they'll just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing until they die, and then I don't know what happens at that point, but
Can't can't keep borrowing after you're dead, so they
yeah.
can't really chase you.
Yeah, but how are they going to get their money back? That's what I don't know. They're going to have to get it back from somebody else, and I don't know. I guess that's what our taxes are for, right?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
What type of personal training did you do?
So, initially, I was helping people get healthier. Was my main reason was I wanted to help people improve their health, and not necessarily like get jacked or lose weight. Of course, like sometimes those did happen as well, but like it was more so focused on trying to help people become a healthier version of themselves, so that way they're not struggling with different chronic issues. And then I was just a health coach for a while after that, and I thought that was the way to go, but it's really not. It's a lot of people don't care about their own health, and so the easy thing to do is kind of just like put the information out there, and people can just kind of do what they want. And I'm not sure how to do it as like a profession of being a health coach, because it's like there's just a lot of people that will get in their own way, and a lot of people that don't want to really listen or want to believe different things, and that's fair. That's understandable. So they might need other people to work with them, or they might need an easier solution, but like it's it wasn't the best experience trying to do that. It was annoying, it was hectic, chaotic, it was stressful to me, to try and like put all of these people's I guess health and needs and whatever above myself, and trying to just go above and beyond. But it's yeah, it's what it is. But I have kind of taken a step back from that, and I still want to be able to, I guess, help be a good influence on taking care of your health and your fitness and all that stuff. But it's not going to be my main objective, and I'm definitely going to put out a lot of content with it, and probably cartoons, showing fitness and health, teaching stuff as a part of it. But we'll see where life brings me.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But what about you? What do you do for your workouts aside from like obviously you're training, but what are you doing fitness wise?
Okay. So yeah. So besides like MMA training, of course, I like to run, or actually I don't like to run. I try to run.
Mm,
Try to get my runs in. I try to do 1.2 miles a day. Sometimes if I'm feeling better, I'll try to go a little further, but all depends. Yeah, but I try to get that baseline 1.2 a day. Leading up to my fights. I lift about or 2 times a week. I try not to exhaust myself too much lifting weights, so I normally do like a upper body day and a lower body day, and then of course doing my cardio and my MMA training, all that good stuff. So
awesome, awesome. Um, I know you had said you've been interested in fighting for a long time, but were you always interested in fitness as well, or just the fighting part of it?
I'd say I've been interested in. I wouldn't say I took my nutrition as serious. I was younger. Don't really care. Eat whatever you want. So
Yeah, of course.
I feel like working out wise, running, lifting. I'd say yeah, I've always been big on that, trying to stay fit, all that good stuff. Don't want to be stove up as an old person or nothing like that. Want to be fit old person and you know look good, feel good, all that good stuff.
I just realized I haven't asked you yet. What weight do you fight at?
135.
135. Okay, gotcha. And then what do you walk around at?
Normally about 150.
150. Okay, so you cut about 15 pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Right now
right.
I'm about 143. So
All right, so you're not too far off. That's eight
mm.
pounds. Um, so are you? Well, you got plenty of time, so I mean, there's no need to stress or worry about it. But do you think that you're gonna lose most of that weight, that most of that 8 pounds, as like weight, or do you think you're gonna need to do it as water weight?
uh, a lot of it's gonna be water. Like I said, the uh just me doing more in the gym with sparring and stuff like that, it's slowly progressively going down to, at first it was at like 48 and 46, but once I actually try to cut the water weight, because I have lots of experience cutting weight with wrestling and whatnot. So
Right.
once I get that sweat going and start sitting in the sauna doing all that good stuff, it'll drop a lot faster. Most of it will be water weight.
Awesome. All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Cool. What do you think about weight cutting in general? Do you like the aspect of it, or do you rather it not be part of the sport?
In my personal opinion, I do not think weight cutting is the best thing. I know it's not the best thing for people. I've actually seen a lot of people growing up wrestling and whatnot. I've seen it stunt people's growth, and they might not be able to gain the muscle that they wanted to, or even get taller than they wanted to, because so much weight cutting, it messes you up. So,
Mm,
yeah, I definitely do not think weight cutting is the best thing for you. As an amateur, I don't think you should do any weight cutting at all, in my personal opinion. Um, if you have to, keep it as the least amount as you can. Like I said, even 15 pounds sounds a lot, but for me, I'm very experienced with cutting weight and I know how to cut weight, so it's not as bad on me.
mm.
Um,
And then it's only 8 pounds right now, but you're
right,
still a month out,
exactly.
so you got time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like you're trying to lose that today. You know,
Hmm.
which even then, 8 pounds in a day isn't that big of a deal either necessarily. When most people are doing, you know, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds, whatever.
Yeah,
If they're cutting that kind of weight.
right. 100%. But yeah, weight. My standpoint on weight cutting is, yeah, I don't believe amateurs should, or anybody under 18, I'd say. If you're an amateur or under 18 years old, you definitely need to keep cutting to the minimum. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Need to let your body need to let it grow and fully develop. And then, if you want to weight cut or whatnot, then weight cut. But I definitely think it's bad for the body.
for sure. For sure. I agree. And I think most people should be walking around at their weight, their natural weight. And then there should even be like a weigh-in right before they step into the cage just to show like how much they're actually weighing. And it
Right.
doesn't even like it, and I've thought about the idea of having like, a 10-pound allowance on the second weigh-in, but like at the same time, I don't even think there needs to be necessarily, any kind of allowance for the second day, but I think it needs to be transparent as to what they're like walking in the cage at.
Right.
Because I know like Anthony Rumble Johnson, I think he might be dead now. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but he was fighting at 170 pounds and he would walk around at 230.
Mm.
And then at a certain point in his career, I think he ended up going up to heavyweight, but
Hmm.
like even still, that was an insane weight cut.
That
And
is a wild weight.
yeah, 60 pounds is way too much for a fight. But I mean, I guess when you're at that level, it doesn't make much of a difference because it's just part of the job, and you're getting paid lots of money to do it. But
Right.
I don't think I would want to cut 60 pounds, even if I was that size. I think
I wouldn't want to cut 60 pounds either.
that's way too much. That's way too much. I wouldn't even want to try to lose 30, but I'm not a big guy, so that's why I'm like 125, 130 pounds. So like 30 pounds would be a lot for me, and it'd be about the same percentage as him trying to lose the 60. But yeah. All right, cool. So you got your fight coming up, and we can definitely get you back on the show after that if you want. And is there anything else you want to share before we go?
No, I'm all good here. I'll say keep a lookout for me. 305 fights. I'll be going for a finish, 100%. Feeling dangerous, feeling good. So I'm looking to put on a show and make everybody proud.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing it, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll let you know when I got everything uploaded.
Heck yeah, you too. You have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Skins under fire, life throwing the heat. Fight where it steps in naturally. Feed OS's power, defends and heals deep. 100% clean, no chemicals creep. Fight away. hit snooze, dream done. Life ain't bad, that's the problem though. Pain on layaway, comfort keeping me broke. I say, one day like it's scheduled in my phone, but someday ain't a day, it's a zone I never go. Got talent in the trunk, fear driving the car, waiting to feel ready like that's ever how it starts. I keep asking for a sign, universe like you don't need motivation, you need to move your butt. Everybody wanna change, but they comfy in the cage, living quiet desperation, call it normal, call it safe. If you waiting on a feeling, you gon' wait another year. Do the work while you scared, confidence appear, yeah, comfort's a trap. Discipline the map, act first, feelings follow, that's a psychological fact. I thought I needed confidence to finally begin. Turns out confidence is built by repeatedly taking L's and then winning. Brain say chill, heart say more, ego say tomorrow, discipline say floor. Push-ups when I'm tired, mic on when I'm dry, posting when it's cringy, truth louder than my pride. Life don't change from thoughts, it changes from reps. Every small uncomfortable step, cash and interest on self-respect. Nobody coming to save you, that's a cheat code. Scary at first and then freeze your soul. Pain of effort or pain of regret, pick one, either way you pay the debt. Everybody wanna change, but they comfy in the cage, living quiet desperation, call it normal, call it safe. If you waiting on a feeling, you gon' wait another year. Do the work while you scared, confidence appear, yeah, comfort's a trap. Discipline the map, act first, feelings follow, yeah, remember that. No montage music when you starting from the floor, just you versus you, no applause, no encore. But every time you choose hard over easy, you rewrite the story, make the future less greasy. I ain't special, I'm consistent when it sucks. That's the difference between dreams and actual stuff. So I move before I'm ready, let the nerves come along. Fearing the passenger seat, but I'm driving this song. Quiet desperation, loud until you act. Life don't get better, you get better than that. A coma is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just paused mid-fall. In your life, trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just paused mid-fall. Trust and believe everything will be alright. You ain't done yet, you just paused mid-fall. I was walking through the jungle with my people by my side. Didn't know that in the moment I'd be fighting for my life. Felt the world start spinning, colors all fade to white. Next thing I knew, I was falling out of sight. Heard voices in the darkness saying, coach, hold tight. But the fear in Queen Jeezy had me wanting to fight. Dreams turn to storms when you can't stand the bright, but every storm breaks when you step into the light. A coma is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just paused it. Trust and believe everything will be alright. You ain't done yet, you just paused mid-fight. In the hospital bed, trying to piece back time. Maya told me, breathe, one step you'll climb. Truth lying, drop facts while the monitors chime. Said your brain hit a wall, but your hope still shines. Juji made jokes when the nights felt long. Panda read stories, keeping my heart strong. Hilarious hood pulled pranks, but he meant no wrong. And Stamps hustled songs when the pressure felt on. Every dream I battled was a lesson in disguise. Every fall just to set up for a stronger rise. When Queen J.C. cried, man, it opened my eyes. I ain't quitting on my people, ain't no goodbye. A coma is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just paused mid-fight. Trust and believe everything will be alright. You ain't done yet, you just paused mid-fight. He's good. He's more than good. He's still winning. A setback ain't a sentence. It's just a pause in the paragraph. I woke up with a vision and a fire in my chest. Every scar I carry is a reason I'm blessed. Life hit hard, but I hit back twice. Yeah, I'm alright.
to my sponsor, Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life. Tonight proved that you pause, you breathe, and you finish the sentence. We did that, we finished
You
it.
looked unstoppable out there.
I didn't quit. Coma Dreams prove comebacks are real. Thank you, coach. I told y'all, no matter how deep it gets, wake up and fight.
Coma Dreams stayed with me. It reminded me not to take any day for granted. Just being healthy, training, and showing up is something to be thankful for.
I didn't expect this, but Coma Dreams actually hit me. Watching Coach go through that made me realize how fragile life is and why you don't waste your shot. This isn't a movie, it's life. It is what it is.
You know, I didn't expect to get hit this hard by a film, but Coma Dreams just wrecked me in the best way. The way it showed someone fighting their way back, step by step, it felt honest, like rolling here on the mats.
All right, I watched Coma Dreams, and I'm going to tell you, Coach's recovery, that was truly inspiring. That's a story worth watching.
I've chased titles my whole life. Coma Dreams reminded me the real prize is waking up and getting another chance. I'm grateful. Thank you, Coach. I've been knocked down more times than I can count. Coma Dreams reminded me, you never quit, you keep standing back up.
Shout out to Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life. We finished the sentence and we finished the fight. Thank you, coach.
Congratulations on the win. What's the message tonight?
Train by day, Coma Dreams by night, all day.